Well, hey everybody, I'm John Retland, and this is my review of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Road to Power Struggle Night 1 and 2 events. Super Junior Tag League action is back, and I want to make mention for the rest of the tournament. Firstly, sorry for not having this review up yesterday. I was very busy and very tired, and I could only get to it today, so I hope you guys understand. As for the VOD shows, they canceled one show that was supposed to have a VOD match or two today due to the damage from the typhoon that hit. But apparently the rest of the shows are on, so they have a show on the 19th, the 21st, and the 22nd, and then the 23rd, 25th, and 26th. Now, the first three will probably be reviewed in one block, and then the next three will be reviewed in one block. And there's only a couple tag matches, Super Junior Tag League matches on every single one of those shows, so those will be short reviews. And then the 27th, 28th, I will be reviewing those live shows, likely sometime Monday, because I'm just going to combine them in one review. And then the 30th, 31st, and 1st, I will be combining into one review. Power Struggle, I will review on its own since it's a big event. I'm really excited for that. As for World Tag League, I'll probably update you guys. I'll basically be reviewing those as well, but it might be combined reviews like this one. So night 1, night 2, and then VOD stuff combined. So anyway, let's get on with this stuff. We have Chris Charlton, Kevin Kelly, and Gino Gambino on commentary for both these shows. And really, the Super Junior Tag League matches were the focal point here. Everything else felt very, I don't want to say samey, but very formulaic. They hyped up the matches nicely for Power Struggle. We get Hanare and Hanma versus Jushin Thunder Liger and Yota Tsuji. I am not fully prepared or emotionally prepared for Jushin Thunder Liger to retire. I'm going to probably be a freaking basket case of emotion. Now, I mean, he's earned his retirement. I'm glad he's retiring when he wants to. It's just still going to be sad because he's one of the guys that got me in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The announcers plugged that Liger's final matches on the 4th and 5th, the 2-day Tokyo Dome event, will take place, and they mentioned a whole bunch of people that I forgot to write down, but it's a pretty packed series of 2 matches. That's pretty good, and then a special celebration at New Year's Dash on the 6th. So basically, this was Liger and Hanare tangling. That was actually pretty cool. Tsuji gets beat up a bit. Kokeshi misses Liger, diving headbutts. Exactly what Hanma should keep doing with his neck and spine issues. At one point, like Chris Charlton mentioning how Liger's in great shape, but he doesn't like to show off his physique. And even with the first time he went shirtless in a match, he had considered putting pasties on his nipples, and apparently Gino Gambino just lost it on commentary. That was pretty funny. Then we get Tsuji and Hanare tangling with some big old moves, but then the rock bottom, toe bottom, 1, 2, 3, that pins Yota Tsuji, so fine opening match. And then we get Suzuki-gun versus LIJ minus Bushi, so we get Minoru Suzuki, Taichi, Zack Sabre Jr., and Doki versus LIJ, so Shingo, Naito, Evil, and Sonata, and then Bushi's not there. And great that Zack Sabre Jr. was able to make this tour. Unfortunately, due to travel issues because of the typhoon, he could not be a King of Pro Wrestling. And typical Suzuki-gun LIJ match, mainly hyped for Naito and Taichi, which was fine. Shingo and Suzuki gave me that match. I really want to see that match. The match goes outside. Eventually, everybody gets in to hit some moves, and Evil taps out Doki, and that was the right call. And then Shingo and Suzuki brawl. So give me that match of Power Struggle, and I might actually be okay with it. They already got a lot of matches of Power Struggle, though, so I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe they'll have Shingo versus Suzuki at the at possibly the end of World Tag League on that big show, or maybe even a Wrestle Kingdom. Who the hell knows? Then we get Ishii, Goto, and Carl Fredericks versus Kenta, Yujiro, and Jay White. It's hyped for the 2 matches for the IC title, Jay White and Ishii, and then White and White and Goto, let me try that again, Ishii and Kenta for the Never Openweight Championship, though I wouldn't mind seeing White and Ishii fight for the Intercontinental title at some point. Everybody starts really some good stuff. It was basic, but it was decent overall, but I really did like how everybody had some nice little exchanges and everything. Milano even got knocked down at one point, and Kenta took off his shoe and hit Ishii with it. Poor Milano. He's a retired wrestler, and he can't get away from anything. Fredericks gets beat up for a bit, and then he comes back with some moves. I mean, everybody does get in, but then eventually GTS pins Carl Fredericks for the 1, 2, 3. And then a video package hypes up New Japan versus CMLL Fantastica Mania 2020 from the 10th of January, my birthday, by the way, to the 20th of January. I missed that last year, and maybe I might watch it this year. We should, or next year. We shall see. I don't know. I'm trying to cover as much wrestling as possible, but I am only one person. So then we get Teton, which I try not to laugh at, but I can't help it, and Volador Jr. versus Tiger Mask and Yuya Yamura. And this was a lot of flippy shit as you would expect. There was some good action, nice chop exchange between Yuya and Teton. Boston Crab spot with Yuya where he wouldn't let go, and he got his chest busted open. Like, that was really tough chops that he took, and he kept doing some really good stuff. But in the end, double stomp off the ropes by Teton. Again, try not to laugh, and Yuya gets pinned for the 1-2-3. So the CMLO guys go up 2 points. TJP and Clark Connors versus Taguchi and Rocky Romero. And this was good stuff. You had TJP and Rocky that were in Korakuen Hall back in 2002. I think when they were both making their New Japan debuts. And this was nice. It was a nice little way to tie some history together. They tango for a bit. Taguchi and Rocky with some comedy and stuff like that. The coach comedy, where it's like they can't figure out the plays because they're dual coaches. Because Taguchi, is dressed up in the rugby gear and all that stuff. Taguchi with the hip attacks, using his ass essentially. Connors and Taguchi tangle a bit. They had some nice little exchanges. Double submission spot where Taguchi and Rocky are locked in submissions, and then they're doing this play calling, and they both get to the ropes at the same time. I don't know why that was funny. Connors and Rocky, they're in. They're having some nice stuff. Falcon arrow into the armbar. Rocky taps Connors, and that was some good stuff. So the dual coaches, go up 2 points. It's a round robin tournament, by the way, and they only have 8 teams, though. I'm thinking that maybe they should have not had this. As good as these matches have been, I'm almost thinking that they couldn't have added more teams, that they shouldn't have bothered. Because 8 teams in a round-robin tournament's a little bit much. It could almost get a little samey. But anyway, I digress. I still enjoy New Japan shows. I'm just saying. Just my opinion. We get El Desperado and Kanemaru versus Sho and Yo. Okay, we saw them recently face off at King of Pro Wrestling, which was actually pretty fun stuff. And Roppongi 3K diving right away. Sho and Yo just diving right away, starting this match off hot. Doki slams a chair into to Sho's back, and Sho actually gets that worked on for a while. Yo in, and he tangles with Kanemaru. Sho and Despy are tangling, but Sho ends up tapping out to the stretch after some, antics and stuff like that. So Despy and Kanemaru get the win, so they're up 2 points. And then we get Will Ospreay and Robbie Eagles of Birds of Prey versus ELP and Taiji Ishimori. Third time in 6 weeks, but you know what? It didn't get boring. They kept it hot. There were dives outside. ELP and Ishimori beat up Ospreay. Ospreay would be worse off next night, just by the way. ELP with a rope walk. Thing of beauty. Guy's absolutely great. Got to see all these guys live at the Super J Cup and in Tacoma, and let me tell you, these guys are absolutely wonderful. Ospreay versus Amazing Red. If you have not seen that match yet and you are subscribed to New Japan World, please check that out. It is great. Eagles does get in. We get more great action. A lot of great exchanges and stuff. Just great double teaming by both teams. Everybody kept the action hot. They slowed down a little bit here and there to give it a chance to breathe, but mostly they were just going 100 miles an hour. Low blow, bloody cross, NCR2 pins, Robbie Eagles. And that's it for that. I would say overall a B minus, I'll have to say, because I like the Super Junior Tag League action and I like the other matches, but I'll just say B minus because it's like just, again, a lot of those matches, the first 3 matches felt formulaic, though they weren't bad. Now we get to night 2. Once again, Kevin Kelly, Chris Charlton, and Gino Gambino on commentary, and we get Hanma and Carl Fredericks versus Jushin Thunder Liger and Yota Tsuji. The Young Lions face off, LA Dojo Young Lion and New Japan Dojo Young Lion. I hope the New Japan Dojo gets repaired and everything after the damage from the typhoon. Hanma and Liger do end up tangling sometime after. I really worry about Hanma every time he's in the ring because of his neck issues and everything. The Young Lions get back in, they tangle, and Carl Fredericks is a beautiful lion tamer, single leg Boston Crab, taps Yota Tsuji. That was some good stuff. That was a good opener. And then we get Taichi and Suzuki and Doki and Zack Sabre Jr. versus LIJ minus Bushi. It's essentially the same match, except this time Sonata got beat up for a while instead. The match does go outside, of course it does. I mean, come on, that's really what you're going to get here. Evil and Suzuki, which actually I wouldn't mind seeing as a match either, but first give me Shingo and Suzuki. And I really hope New Japan is able to get Suzuki to stay and give him a bit more money, give him a bit of a push. I know that he's in his early 50s, but he's a big part of New Japan. And he really could benefit. They could benefit from having him. He could benefit from being there. I'm not saying there aren't other companies for him to go to, and he can go wherever the hell he wants. I just hope to see him on New Japan programming. But Doki and Shingo are tangling and pump and bomber. 1, 2, 3. Big old clothesline, and Doki gets pinned. And then Taichi and Naito, they brawl briefly and then stare lovingly into each other's eyes while holding each other's hair. It was really weird, but whatever. It was just Taichi trying to tell Naito to calm down. Naito seemed perfectly calm and unhinged at the same time. Naito's a bit of an anomaly. But anyway, we then get Ishii, Goto, and Hanare versus Kenta, Jay White, and Yujiro. Same match that you saw before, except Hanare is the one that took the pin. I mean, that's essentially what it was. Chaos does take it outside. They start off hot a little bit. Goto does get targeted. But yeah, Hanare gets in. He does some good moves with Yujiro, but he gets pinned with Pimp Juice. Again, I mean, I'm kind of rushing through some of this stuff, but essentially, if you saw night 1 and saw night 2, you're essentially seeing the same matches. Not that the action was bad. Then we get to Taguchi and Rocky Romero wearing the Black Tiger mask. Or the Black Tiger mask. You know what? He's wearing the mask of Black Tiger. There, I'll word it that way. And they take on Tiger Mask and Yuya Uemura. And Yuya and Rocky start off. This was a pretty good match. Taguchi gets in and he's trying to do some clothesline stuff with Tiger Mask. And then Tiger Mask just eventually stands off to the side. And then Taguchi's just running back and forth with the ropes and tiring himself out. But then tricks Tiger Mask and kicks him in the gut and keeps the action going. There is this one point, forever clotheslines with Rocky. I think he hits like 3, and then Yuya hits a big old drop kick out of the corner. At one point, it seemed like, Rocky was upset at Taguchi because he kicks him out of the ring, like, what the hell are you doing? And then Rocky gets caught in a submission move by Tiger Mask, and Taguchi breaks it up by kicking Tiger Mask and then kicks Rocky kind of as a receipt. I mean, they ended up working out just fine as a team, but it was kind of funny. We then get Rocky being double teamed. We get double underhook off the ropes by Tiger Mask. That was beautiful. Double submission spot. Kind of the same thing as before, where Taguchi actually got stopped from tapping out by Rocky kicking his hand and everything. It's like, nope, don't you dare tap out. And then Taguchi got to the ropes. And Dodon, the Buster, pins Yuya 1, 2, 3. So, good stuff. We then get Clark Connors and TJP versus Volador Jr. and Teton. Again, try not to laugh at the Teton name. Fast-paced, TJP and Volador Jr. tangling with some good exchanges and everything. Connor gets in with Teton. I really need to stop laughing at that name. TJP got beat up some. There were some close near falls. But Teton does do this diving drop kick at Connors where he just goes through the goddamn ropes. It was really impressive. And then hits a double stomp on Connor soon after. 1, 2, 3. He even kind of hit his head a little bit, Teton did, on that. So hopefully he's okay. Because he looked like he really rung his bell there. Actually rung his bell by hitting a drop kick in the corner and then kind of landing badly. But anyway, that was a good match for what it was. And then El Desperado and Kanemaru versus Ishimori and ELP. And this was good. Who can out-heal the other? It was good stuff, though. I enjoyed this match. Of course, like, we get a jacket thing with, like, how Yota can't quite remove the jacket properly from ELP, and ELP gets upset, like, don't damage the jacket. Then he kicks him kicks the rope and kicks it right into Tsuji's groin. Poor Tsuji, getting beat up all the goddamn time. But that's what happens with the Young Lions. Hey, at least it wasn't Suzuki. You got to walk out, sort of. Cool rope walk, but that backfires because Despy and Kanemaru keep trying to, out-heal the Bullet Club. Outside into the crowd is an umbrella spot where, it's a good thing to have an umbrella at this time of year. Ishimori got beat up a bit. ELP misses a splash outside. Really looked kind of brutal. Ref bump. Red Shoes taking another ref bump. And then we get low blows, plenty of low blows. One blocked by the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship belt that Ishimori and ELP hold. And El Desperado blocks that, and Ishimori just hits it with his hand, is holding that and everything. In the end, Pinche Loco after the Centauri Surprise. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. So yeah, Suzuki-gun was able to out-heal the Bullet Club, and then we get to Roppongi 3K and the Birds of Prey, Robbie Eagles and Will Ospreay. And as great as expected. Will Ospreay apparently had food poisoning. Not that you would have been able to tell. I mean, he dialed it down a little bit. Eagles did do a lot more of the work, but, Will Ospreay did his share. I mean, you wouldn't have been able to tell he had food poisoning, but by God, he worked really goddamn hard. Show's back was hurt. Well, I mean, I think it's selling. I hope it is, but he was selling that pretty goddamn well. It takes to the air, does go outside for a bit where I think Ospreay throws, gets Show like in the back or whatever, and then runs back out to the ring so they can target Yo a bit. And Yo got beat up. Show gets in with Ospreay, then Yo later gets in with Eagles. Eagles dives, really, really cool dive on both guys. There's some close near falls, but in the end, a bridging pin after some pin exchanges between Yo and Eagles. Bridging pin 1, 2, 3. So the Birds of Prey are 0 and 2. Rapogni 3K are Rapogni 3K get the victory over them. So that was some good stuff. So the same as night one. I'm going to give it a B minus. I enjoyed the Super Junior Tag League matches. Do not misunderstand me, but again, formulaic matches before. I can't just say, oh god, it's the greatest thing ever or whatever. I had to look at it with a critical eye while also having fun. So yeah, that's going to really be it right there. So again, the VOD episodes, I will do what I can to either make 2 shows or just make one long show with all the matches, depending on what time I have. So anyway, agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin, and I'll see you soon.